Hi everyone, I just wanted to come in and give a quick update. This week has been kind of busy for me, so I haven't had the time to come and check in on you guys. So, what are we looking at? Well, Bitcoin took another little tumble to this top of this resistance or support area, sorry. What I'm seeing now is the possibility of a bear flag forming. Um, and you can kind of see that here if you want. I will show you this. This is kind of a artist rendition of a bear flag pattern. It's a strong downward move followed by a slight area of consolidation that is moving upwards. And at the end of that, it resolves to drive the price lower. So if we look at that, I had actually drawn this flag before this candle even started forming, and it just bounced right off the bottom of this blue area. So in the short term, I am definitely bearish on Bitcoin. And I'm expecting it to kind of trend between these two areas of support and resistance up here. If we make it all the way back up here, we're looking at coming all the way back down again. We are still above the SMA 200, so there's that. But really, this is not looking great in the short term here. If we dive over here, this is the 4-hour chart with the Ichimoku cloud. You can see that we ran headfirst into resistance here in this cloud and bounced right off of it. So we are looking at an overall downward trend. Fear and greed, we're moved down into even more extreme fear. We're at 24 now. So usually this is going to be a pretty good time to start looking for buying opportunities, but hold your horses for now. Just kind of hang on. We need to see how far Bitcoin's going to move in this downward trend that we have. If we look at our funding rates, this is looking, that one was red and now it flipped to green. But, it's a little bit more neutral than we saw before. Uh, but, it's not terrible. So, we don't have that red sitting there anymore, at least. So, I don't think this is going to happen. Let me show you. So if we zoom out and look at the big picture here, a lot of people are seeing a head and shoulders pattern forming. So head and shoulders, if we have a look at what the typical chart looks like, here is a head and shoulder pattern. Now if we move back, so we're just now kind of resolving the head. And so what could happen is if we do get a head and shoulders pattern, we're going to fall all the way to this neckline right here at 40K. And then we'll bounce back up, and then we could return to levels around 30K. Now, I don't think we're going to get that bad, but it could mean a pretty poor start to our 2022. But we just got to hang in there for right now. We got to kind of go see how this is going to resolve. I think we're going to go sideways. And if we continue going sideways in an upward fashion, then that's definitely a sign that you should, if you are playing the market like this, maybe look for some Bitcoin shorts to scalp and get a little bit of profit that way. Otherwise, hold on for dear life, and this will resolve to the upwards eventually. And here's why I'm saying that. Now, remember, we had a halving last year. And after the halvings, traditionally, we have a big parabolic upward trend, and then we have a slight downturn, and then we just kind of consolidate. the halving happens and we go up again. So we're in this area right here. If we want, we can even compare it like this, side by side. This is a Reddit post by P. Fricaro. And this was put out 8 months ago, around the time of the actual halving, I think. And so you can see here that if it was to range like it had before, that's where all these analysts were coming up with 400K for Bitcoin eventually. But really, is that realistic? So I found this, and this is actually what's happening after the third halving. This is a tweet by eCoinMetrics, and this was tweeted out on the 7th. And you can see here, this kind of blue area is what happened before the previous halvings. And you can see here that we're not quite fulfilling that same, we're not even staying in the same blue area. So this is kind of like a strange market that we have going on right now. And you can see that even further if we pop over to the heat map. Now on the heat map, usually, and this is one of the indicators that I always look at, and it's kind of weird, but Bitcoin, when it goes down, usually CELO goes green. And for the last several times that I've looked at the heat map, this has not come true. And for the last year, I've been kind of looking at this, and you would see CELO would turn green, or actually it's called CELO. So CELO would go green when Bitcoin was going red, and I have not been seeing that. So we just kind of got a little bit of a strange market going on here. This is a chart by Sebastian of Moon on TradingView, and this is kind of like a more realistic picture of what we could see Bitcoin do in the future. And so right now we are here in December, and these are just squiggles. So obviously it's, or actually no, sorry, it was 1 year too much. So, these are obviously just squiggles. I mean, if I put it on a squiggle here, that's obviously not the price at 37. We actually, almost hit the top of the band here this month with our all-time high. So, but this is a much more realistic picture of what we can expect Bitcoin to do in the future. You can see that the ranges are getting smaller and smaller. And on this chart, he's got 30K as a top right here. So really, no matter what we do, we're headed to six figures. And even Ecoinometrics says that. Who knows what's coming up next, but the arithmetic of market cap should naturally drive BTC to six figures. So we're definitely going to see six figures sometime, maybe next year. Well, a lot of us were hoping, including myself, that we would see 100K Bitcoin by the end of the year. But unfortunately, things happened and that did not come to fruition. But for the short term, once again, we are looking at a bearish trend. We are definitely looking at a bearish trend. And as it moves up, a lot of people are going to fall into this bull trap. Do not be one of them. So I'm going to leave that with you guys. Remember, if you like this content and want to see more, please like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell icon to know when I publish new content. And please, if you have any questions or if you want to just start an argument with me, make sure you leave that in the comment section and I will get to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching.